Today we got Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, with Scorpion and Ryu going head to head. Who comes out on top? Let's find out. Once a member of the Shirai Ryu clan of ninjas, Hanzo Hasashi, aka Scorpion, was killed by the Elder Sub-Zero in battle while his whole family and clan were slaughtered by the menacing sorcerer Quan Chi. Scorpion returned, but as a ninja specter. Now, as a human, Hanzo was one of the most respected members of his clan, and known for his speed and direct style of combat. His fighting style and stance was taken from the Shaolin Kung Fu, and his skill with swords, axes, and his knife attached to a chain. But after his death to Sub-Zero and subsequent resurrection, Scorpion was given new powers and abilities. He can control Hellfire, and Scorpion is able to shoot fire, and powers weapons with fire, teleport through fire, and spit fire from his skull head. He's immune to death, since if he is killed, he'll just reconstitute in the nether realm. He also has the ability to kill people just by looking at them. Basically, how that works out, whatever looks in his eyes for longer than 30 seconds, they'll burn from the inside out. Now, Scorpion is a force to be reckoned with, but his powers are really dependent upon the nether realm. The longer Scorpion is away from the nether realm, the weaker he becomes. And then the reverse side of that, he's more powerful when he's actually in the realm. So, as we got one corner, the mighty Scorpion. But, entering the ring, at the corner, was the skilled fighter Ryu. Ryu is the main character of the Street Fighter series, and is one of the greatest fighters in the world. He's an experienced martial artist, highly focused on his training, and aims to become the strongest he can. Ryu is an all-around fighter with an intuitive array of punches and kicks and basic special moves, oftentimes simply sticking to the fundamentals, playing those more consistent techniques that he's refined throughout the years. Ryu is strong enough to cause small craters in the ground of his punches, lift massive boulders, and send opponents flying backwards with his attacks. He's also durable enough to take beatings from Balrog, Akuma, Blanka, and Uru, who's widely considered the strongest opponent in the Street Fighter universe, even taking fireballs with no real visible damage. Finally, Ryu is surprisingly fast, even being fast enough to bullet time and dodge bullets from a semi-automatic pistol. Ryu is also an expert fighter, as he's managed to easily defeat whole groups of opponents by himself, beat the other fighters in the Street Fighter universe, and even battle against and beat master martial artists like Gen, who trained Chun-Li, and 12, who's an amalgamation of several different Street Fighter skills and styles. Ryu also has some special moves that he can call upon, with the most common being a Hadouken, where a fighter's willpower is focused in pure energy, then launched out to their palms at their opponent. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, being that Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter are two of the most iconic fighting game series of all time, it makes sense to throw these two franchises head to head. The most iconic of these matchups has got to be Scorpion versus Ryu. And so in a fight between these two expert fighters, who's going to be coming out on top? Well, today, that's what we're going to find out. And the first thing we're going to need to take a look at is physicality. Which one is more powerful? Well, when it comes to Ryu, he's one of a power group of thugs who were dogpiling all on top of him before. He's lifted up a massive boulder over his head, a boulder that had to weigh at least a few tons, and he's formed a small crater in the ground with just one punch. Scorpion is going to have a hard time showing he can replicate that level of pure strength. But that's not to say that he can't do it. In fact, Scorpion is probably roughly just as strong as Ryu is. It's just that Scorpion uses his strength in a different, much more savage way. Like, for instance, he's easily broken bones and even skulls with just one punch. Completely ripped off heads, ripped out spines, punched straight through people, and pretty much everyone that he's done that sort of stuff against, really every fighter in Mortal Kombat, is at least bulletproof, and generally able to even take rockets and missiles. Scorpion has even broken through Sub-Zero's ice before, which might not sound that impressive at first, but then you realize people like Kano and even Guru weren't able to replicate that and break through Sub-Zero's ice too. Guru, the guy who can easily rip people's bodies in half just a warm up for his fights, wasn't able to break through Sub-Zero's ice. Yet Scorpion can. That should definitely show you just how strong Scorpion is here in this fight. So about durability. When it comes to Ryu, he managed to take punches and just full on beating some of the strongest people in Street Fighter, yet continuously just get right back up and keep on fighting. Like take Balrog for instance. The guy is strong enough to bust up cars with his punches, or even easily obliterate a punching bag filled with concrete cinder blocks instead of sand. Yet Ryu was able to take all of Balrog's punches, even when Balrog was pounding on his face. He's really just continuously been blasted backwards or launched around by other fighters, yet is oftentimes able to get right back up and continue fighting, even win the fight, basically through sheer strength and power of will. Then he's also taken fireballs to the face before and fought inside the middle of an active volcano, so that might help him stand up to Scorpion's hellfire. But we'll circle back around to that later. Right now, we talk about Scorpion's durability. And his durability, pain tolerance, and healing factor is literally just insane. He survived being punched through his own stomach. He's been impaled multiple times by Sub-Zero's ice, been electrocuted and sent flying backwards by Energy Blast. On top of that, Scorpion's got an incredible healing factor. He's recovered from stab wounds in just a few seconds, and gotten right back up after being shot, even being shot in both eyes, after having all of his ribs and back broken, having his spine crushed and sword impaled straight through his head, even got right back up after being stabbed right through the heart. Ryu's durable, but he's really got nothing on Scorpion, especially with that healing factor of his. So then finally, we gotta talk about speed. And Ryu's greatest advantage here is that he's surprisingly fast, even being fast enough to bullet time and dodge bullets from a semi-automatic pistol. Scorpion has never directly dodged bullets. So a lot of people look at that and just assume that Ryu can instantly speed blitz and defeat Scorpion because he's just so much faster. And that's not technically true. You see, while Scorpion has never directly dodged bullets, other people in the Mortal Kombat universe have, like Quan Chi, Mavado, and Chinook. And Scorpion has definitely proven that he's faster than those guys before, or at least comparable in speed. Scorpion also has the ability to teleport, and he'll definitely spam this ability if he needs to. He's even run into Quan Chi before, who is a bullet timer, and teleported him to the Nether Realm before he could react. So basically, Ryu has directly dodged bullets before in the past, but Scorpion is still super fast, being able to move fast enough to create after Magus and blitz Lin Kuei warriors, who are insanely fast in their own right. So Scorpion has definitely got the physical advantage here, especially with his durability and pain tolerance. And so that means that for Ryu to win, he's got to really rely upon his skill and special abilities. And it's really hard to say which one of these two fighters is the more skilled fighter here, simply because they've both been able to go up against and defeat some of the absolute greatest fighters in their own respective universes. They're definitely both top tier in their games. I guess if I have to choose, I might say Ryu is more technically skilled, just because Street Fighter focuses more on skill fighting, while Mortal Kombat focuses more on fighting with their special abilities. But still, that's insanely hard to decide. You can also make a strong argument that Scorpion is the better fighter here too. So then what about their powers and their special abilities? Well, with Ryu, his main ability is Hadouken, which is basically using his own willpower in order to launch out powerful energy blast at an opponent. And this tactic can actually be super powerful, but he's also got different tactics, like Hadoukens that can stun opponents, Hadoukens that can set fire to an opponent, which won't work here because Scorpion is immune to fire, Shuriken, which is a jumping uppercut, or spinning kicks. But again, I've got to give the edge to Scorpion here. For starters, Scorpion's durability will allow him to take a lot of Ryu's attacks, even his Hadouken, seeing as how he's taken energy blasts before in the past and been just fine. But more importantly, Scorpion's got special abilities of his own. His primary ability is his pyrokinesis, which is able to use to launch fireballs, literally just spit out fire. They're going to be real effective against Ryu here in this fight. And I know, we talked about how Ryu has taken fireballs before in the past. But the difference here is that Scorpion has got Hellfire, not just regular fire, meaning it's magical in nature, got magical properties, and should be able to injure Ryu, even if he's durable to normal fire. But that's not all that Scorpion can do. He can summon minions that grab opponents and pin them to the ground. He's got powerful enchanted weapons like his sword and chain spear, both of which are capable of slicing off limbs, slicing off skulls, or impaling opponents. He's able to go on and amp these weapons with his Hellfire to make them even more powerful and dangerous. And again, that's still not all. Scorpion has still got the ability to teleport, and he's not at all afraid to spam this tactic in a fight, even using it to take down a blood-amped Raiden. More importantly, though, Scorpion's able to teleport other people and send them off to the Nether Realm, which is basically hell in the Mortal Kombat universe. And Scorpion gets a power boost whenever he's there. So, end of the day, who wins? Well, I think it's gotta be Scorpion. Ryu is a real tough fighter, and definitely won't go down easily. But Scorpion can fight against him with his skill, can physically hold his own, and even outclass him. And most importantly, he's got weapons and abilities that Ryu has no real counter for, like his Hellfire, his teleportation, the Nether Realm, even just his sword and chain will be tough to counter. And it's mainly because of the special abilities why I see Scorpion winning here. Mostly just because Ryu has no clear counter for them, except to simply try and outfight Scorpion. That's not going to happen. Scorpion's coming out on top here. Scorpion wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to like button, subscribe button, turn notifications on the DanCo army, and I will see y'all next time.